Don't want to give it up. All right, so very, very standard bans here from Team Liquid for anybody facing Cloud9. The obvious Rumble for balls and a Zed for high. Really just trying to take out specific picks targeted at the players. Very standard here. They give one to each.
Yeah.
The top 3 players for Cloud9 in the draft order each get 1 ban, and those are taken off. Meanwhile here, Cloud9 taking out a lot of the AoE picks that Team Liquid have gone towards. Taking down the Morgana. Maybe we will end up seeing a support Nautilus, actually. Black Shield, one of the biggest deterrents for that.
Huh. Okay.
All right, so the Lulu pick's not going to be there. So the true buffing of an AD carry-centric composition has been taken out. I think that's a really good call by Cloud9 to take that away from Team Liquid and away from Piglet, or anyone looking to buff up Piglets. But man, the 2 immediate lock-ins here. Very, very high priority top lane champions. Taking away Lissandra as well, since High can play at mid, really does limit Quas. However, as we said, very deep champion pool. Should be fine. The Rek'Sai, pretty much premier jungler right now. Sejuani is up though, and she is extremely strong in the current meta as well. That would provide a ridiculous front line for Cloud9.
And crowd control. What a lockdown composition Cloud9 would have with that. Lissandra already played by High in the mid lane, as we see a Mundo getting locked in over here by Liquid.
This is one of Quas's mainstays. This is one of the original champions that he was known for.
Quas the boss.
Right. You know, it's almost up there with like the Quas Swain, right? His Mundo. He really likes playing this champion. And it is just sort of another tank in the meta. Percentage health damage, can get very, very beefy, is against the double AP. So we'll see if an early Morella Namicon shows itself. There is the support Nautilus.
Bing, bang, boom.
I mean, technically they can still flex it over to jungle if they really want to. Meteos probably would not like that champion though. Definitely would slow down his play. Nautilus, pretty much one of the slowest, if the slowest champion in the game. And Meteos is not really a fan of that style. LemonNation, though, let's see how he is able to move. Maybe they can get some all-ins in the bottom lane. It's interesting that he picks the support Nautilus even after this Janna was shown, though. Because Janna plus pretty much anything is fairly good at dealing with Nautilus. It was actually one of the specific champions that Xpecial listed, you know, during his testing of support Nautilus. He really felt like Janna was a good answer to it. We'll see, though, because there is a very strong frontline from Cloud9 and a lot of hard engage. So Xpecial will be hard-pressed to get some strong ultimates off once they get to the teamfight phase.
Whew. Very interesting composition from Liquid. I cannot wait to see how they control this one. Like you were saying, with those fights, if they don't get it immediately, everyone's locked down by Lissandra, by Maokai, by a Nautilus. It's going to be very tough here as Cloud9 round out the composition. I don't even know where it's going to go.
And the thing is here, I really do like the last 2 picks here from Team Liquid. Very, very high threats. 2 extremely high damage dealing champions here. Kalista, if you're unable to lock her down and she survives in one of these longer teamfights where the teamfights are trending to be longer and longer because there's so many tanks, that AoE, if she goes with the Runon's build, which Piglet most definitely will at some point in this game, then the sustained damage here from Cassiopeia and Kalista will get very, very strong if they're unable to lock them down. But again, another lockdown tool. Cloud9 really looking for another target Piglet or FeniX comp right here.
Somewhat of a similar comp they ran against Liquid last time. They had the Vi, they had a Lissandra, but they had an Annie at support. You can somewhat still get that out of depth charge. It's not a flash depth charge, but you're still going to get that. So
there's a lot of pressure on Xpecial to perform with this Janna. And Quas is going to try and body block as many of these engages as possible. Obviously, you cannot body block Vi or the depth charge from Nautilus, so something is going to land on one of the 2 carries.
Well, let's see if Cloud9 can shake off what happened here at IM Katowice. Like we said, they went a little crazy. They did have a really good early game against the GE Tigers. Well, an early start against the GE Tigers, and then kind of little in their own heads, I think what just happened.
Yeah,
like
the early game, we're definitely going to keep an eye on the early game. You know, Meteos specifically, what types of dives he goes for, because maybe the experience at Katowice turns him extremely passive in the early game. He might go back to his hard farming style.
So while the teams are loading in, the game is starting. Let's get the votes going and who you think will come out on top. Tweet hashtag TLWin or hashtag C9Win to @LOL Esports, and we'll tally those up throughout the game. Coming into this one, a little fun stat. We usually don't keep track of the kills on supports, but LemonNation is very close. You need 4 more kills to hit 100, but he's also at 98 games. So if he can do this in 100 and 100, that would be pretty impressive. So he's 2 games to get 4 kills.
Tall task. Not a tall task for Nautilus.
No.
Nautilus is well equipped.
Might actually be able to make
as we've seen so far this week, Nautilus is well equipped to grab kills. And it's another thing that you do always want to keep track of when you have support like Nautilus is the roaming. Any chance that Cloud9 do get to buy time for LemonNation to start roaming and make plays, especially mid lane here, would be huge.
100 kills in 100 games. Can you do it, Lemon? See. The wards get placed. He was probably not seen, but his ward was. It's creepy.
All right.
I like that Mundo skin. It's a good one. It's like Hellboy Mundo.
Reminds me of Axe.
Starting the Ruby Crystal health bots top lane for Quas.
Yeah, he used to do that, you know, even last year when we saw him when he was still in Challenger, the Challenger League up at PAX. He would go multiple health crystals, and that's even better now that health crystals can easily be upgraded into Giant's Belts. He's not even limiting his build path with that style. 2 versus 1 swap, though. Not a surprise coming from Cloud9. Pretty big fans here. They do see the late invade because it was a good ward there from Team Liquid in the river.
For a second, I was thinking Meteos is walking in by himself.
Up down.
But that's LemonNation.
Yeah, he's got a big bodyguard here.
No, it's just Nautilus. The support. Piglet, he's going to say, hey, how's it going? High five to Meteos. Gets himself out. And they're able to clean up the ghost as well. So it actually looks like Xpecial wants a little bit more of this. Just the deep ward. For their shoes, you know that.
That's true.
Just look at Faithful. All right, we start this one off. Cloud9's getting kicked where they don't want, and we're going to see if he can keep himself safe. 3 minutes into this game, nobody has too much of a lead, as expected.
All right, well, let's see how they play out the early game here. Supports begin to roam, and LemonNation makes his way down the river into the blue side jungle of Team Liquid.
So I like, usually we see like a Thresh, right, who can save other people, but now LemonNation can anchor toss himself out of dangerous situations. We'll see how good he is at self anchor tossing.
Cloud9 are definitely looking to go forward. Pretty much everybody on the same page. But, as I said, they get all of their really big abilities at level 6. So Cloud9 will just try and farm probably for the early stages of the game to get to those level 6s. The Vi 6, the Lissandra 6, Nautilus, and we'll see if they can get there in a calm fashion without Rek'Sai really creating too much pressure is what Cloud9 are hoping for.
And allowing Meteos to really roll through the jungle by himself here. Balls went to the lane right by himself. They can see the sonar. He's got to be very careful. And he is. Pushed up to the lane, how they have to actually get here for the experience so they don't miss too much. Very nice job by Meteos to kind of just be right under their nose, and they can't do anything about it due to the positioning.
Xpecial hiding in the brush to see if there's a dive, and then try and turn the dive around.
I think he saw
they were actually hoping to sort of bait something in there and have Xpecial show up as the unexpected third man for Team Liquid. But Cloud9, as we said, they're not going for those more risky dives. He turns his head towards middle, goes for the easy setup here with Cassiopeia. Flash burn, very successful gank. The beating on the exit doesn't hurt that much because Vi does not take that much damage in the jungle and has smite up. So Meteos should be able to at least clear off that side of the jungle. The real key there is the flash burn from Cassiopeia. She has no more escapes in the mid lane, and they will have to have Dominate come supply wards for her. Piglet going really aggro.
That's a lot of minion damage.
He knew that he had Xpecial on the way, though, for the shield, so he wanted to punish balls as heavily as possible. Does have the wave pushing against him as well. So forces balls to chug potions, head back to base, and will be denied experience.
He's got the teleport, so he's always only going to lose a little bit.
Well, the lane is going to be frozen against him in Team Liquid territory. So
point, Kobe.
Really early, aggressive, all-in lane.
Don't cheer just yet. You're scaring me.
Hey, we made it further than we've made the last 2 pauses.
I like
10 seconds, baby. All right, so Balls, remember, he did not actually get to recall because Xpecial stopped his back before. And again, zoned out completely. Great job here, Team Liquid, freezing the lane right in front of their turret. So this is going to be a very difficult situation for Balls to, get back in there. Looks like now maybe they decide to, oh, what a good ward there from Team Liquid. Outside the tri-bush, Meteos does not know that he was seen previously. And LemonNation really tried to force the issue and bait in Quas there, but just took a bunch of damage instead. Dominating the area for the counter.
Oh, the pre-6 Mundo game. Dominate comes in. LemonNation goes down. The Flash and Ignite have been burned on that one, and a beautiful counter gank by Dominate.
That is going to give Cloud9 flashbacks. Katowice, failed dive top. What a perfect play from Team Liquid. They had the ward outside of the tri-bush. Oh, Dominate's in position once again, but Meteos now wants to take advantage of his Gromp greed.
Gets himself out safely. Only has to use the tunnel, no flash.
They got the first blood. They'll give up the Gromp for it.
Yeah, good call. They have the wards to clear as well. Their pinks are in place, so they can start to deny that early vision that Cloud9 has tried to get in. They didn't get much out of the gank, so they're going to be looking for more.
That's something I do want to see from a lot more teams as well, is the early pink wards on your side of the jungle that you were just lane swapped on. Wow.
That would have been dead.
Flash out of Balls. That is going to unfreeze the lane, though. Because Balls distracted them, he was unable to keep the freeze at his turret, and it cost him his flash, but the lane will be pushing back towards his turret now. But yeah, the early pink wards in your own side of the jungle after you reset a lane swap. Because the enemy just left a ton of wards on your side of the jungle. Meteos, though, returning back to his pink ward that he placed, and still there's another ward outside the tri-bush. Quas constantly placing these, so he will not be caught.
Nicely done, whether it's his trinket, which is that one, or he has the vision ward as well to be placed when it runs out, keeping himself very safe. And we see that Liquid may be kind of taking a back seat here as their flashes are all down. Nothing crazy for the next few minutes. They're just happy to farm it up. BF Sword already onto Piglet in the bottom lane. You can see the pressure they've been putting onto Balls. Like you said, they blew his flash, and it looks like the turret's going to be theirs as well. See how this is responded to.
That's actually a good point. The Kalista build not going for attack speed early because he is in a lane swap. It will enable him, to get take down the turret that much quicker. But delaying the Runons, it is a very high damage build to go with the BF into Bloodthirster first. But the mobility will take a hit.
And that's one of the things maybe he's just considering, if I do get locked down, I'm dead, right? So he might want that shield. He might want a bit of that ability to
that's true as
hopefully get out of the lockdown with some health on the way out. Only a 700 gold lead here for Team Liquid as they kind of mope around the map, waiting for those flashes to come back up, as we said. Happy with their first blood, first dragon, and first turret.
And FeniX's flash is back up. One of the big things that we saw 20 minutes ago at the beginning of the game was the early flash blown by FeniX because of an early gank from Meteos. But they were unable to get back to a Lissandra lane versus a Cassiopeia who has her flash blown. So FeniX able to wait it out with good warding on the mid lane and playing safe and a bit far back in the mid lane. And Cloud9 were unable to capitalize on that early summoner blown on the very low mobility champion, Cassiopeia. Now, though, Meteos has hit that level 6, high as level 6. They have all of the CC that they're looking for with that combo. They almost even have the depth charge ready for Nautilus from LemonNation level 6.
And there's a really big spike from high. The Abyssal Scepter already created here, just at the 10-minute mark for him. So if he decides to get a roam on, somebody's going to get exploded. FeniX to pick up blue. This will help him charge that Cassiopeia passive very nicely for himself.
Well, lanes do shake out post level 6, meeting back up. And the solos up top is probably the big difference because there's not that much ward in there. Jungler down bottom though right now. Meteos looking to use first Vi ultimate.
Yep.
And Nautilus almost level 6. LemonNation needs 2 more minions to get that depth charge. Depth charge
over
into
the wall.
Assault and Battery. Oh, LemonNation didn't get the minion.
Gets the flash out of it. That's right, Kobe. There's now the 6 for LemonNation. That's going to be the depth charge. They rock it out, but they also call balls down for this here.
Yeah, they don't. And with all the hard CC that they use, they still have depth charge and Lissandra ultimate still ready for the dragon fight. Oh, right, dragon's already gone.
Dragon's gone, yeah.
Dominate took it earlier.
Didn't hurt too bad. Quas wasn't pushing the top lane there. I believe he actually stopped his teleport, it looks like, from
he had to.
base.
Piglet and Xpecial were both already dead. So we see the mid game here. As soon as they hit their level 6 with the CC, successful gank onto Piglet, focusing him already. There's nothing that you can do. And it's only going to get worse because that was only, teleport in from Maokai and Assault and Battery. They didn't even have to use the other 2 point and clicks. They can use those on FeniX.
Right, and you saw the distance that Piglet was able to create. He won't be able to do that for another 5 minutes, so it's only going to get easier here for Cloud9 and the rest of the team to press R. 2-1 now as Cloud9 made their first move towards the bottom lane. It looks like that will cause these AD carries to now match up, possibly, towards the top side. It looks like Sneaky may actually head back towards the bottom himself, though.
FeniX inflating his numbers, also stacking up, taking down the babies from Meteos.
Yeah, why not? Get all those stacks for yourself, charge it.
You've got blue buff. Kill everything that you see as Cassiopeia. Bunch of wards as well for the top side here for Team Liquid. So FeniX should be hugging that side of the river. Very safe for him in the mid lane to hug the top side. LemonNation does land his chain of CC, but of course it is Mundo.
Yeah, little bump of
also
damage
has magic resist early here. Yeah. Now that might come back to bite him if Sneaky's able to focus him. But for the Nautilus damage, pays off.
Couldn't help it, Kobe. It comes out of a ruby crystal. He just wanted it so bad. Love those rubies. This is going to be dangerous. Doing what he can to hold out. They are going to grab the turret. The fight will continue after shield down to Quas is already broken. He gets hit. The Ignite is completely killing the ultimate. He gets hit by Sneaky. They turn it around once again. And
I thought Dominate was coming as well. I think Dominate finished up a camp.
Whoa. Hey-yo. Because the top side here is FeniX. Will he hit a good ultimate? They were staring right at him, but now he's just left to get shredded apart here. They couldn't have thought that this was going to go well for them.
Is this just the week of chaos?
I think.
Because that was a really, really uncharacteristic lapse in judgment from Team Liquid. Not calling everybody into position at the right time, and Cloud9 with the CC advantage to make them pay for it. Didn't expect the Ignite from Nautilus, I think. I think that Quas expected
to be big, yeah.
Nautilus to have Exhaust instead, but LemonNation pops the Ignite. As we said, there was no armor, so Sneaky just...
Ooh, that was nice.
And it continues.
A good job by Team Liquid here to start. Wow, did he really just get out alive? No way. From a Janna as well? That's crazy. Great job by Sneaky to avoid dying there. LemonNation goes down for his buddy to get out alive.
Now, it was very chaotic. And all that said, though, Cloud9 do come out with a huge lead here for the early game.
Oh, God, yeah.
And once again, they're able to... don't you hate when that happens? He's going to go to his red buff instead, though. Early Sightstone as well. So it's a double early Sightstone here for Team Liquid. Whereas look at Meteos. He's going for extra damage because they really, really count on killing the target. When they go all in, they have to make sure they have enough damage to finish off either Piglet or FeniX when they get in with Vi and Lissandra combo, if you get the early armor penetration, neither FeniX nor Piglet are building early armor. So flat armor penetration is so much value for Meteos, especially since Vi also has percentage armor penetration with her W. This is a very, very damage-heavy build here from Meteos. Very early spike. As soon as you get the Brutalizer, a lot of burst damage here from Vi.
Also decided to go with those Ninja Tabis, figuring he'd get hit up by Piglet quite a bit. Cancel out FeniX. Don't need to control the lockdown there. Or get out of the lockdown, I should say. You're already controlling it. Dragon going over to Cloud9. Nicely done by them. It's going to have to be a very, very carefully played game now by Team Liquid with them losing vision in the jungle. These picks
secondary turret, though, could go down for Team Liquid. Now, they're making an exchange for Dragon for the first turret, but they have Rek'Sai ultimate and teleport for Quas, so they might try and teleport some people down to this secondary turret that Cloud9 are making to looking to make a move on. Sending 3 members down. Now, Balls does have teleport as well, and Team Liquid do not blow either of their teleports, so they just try and walk in here with Xpecial to shield it.
Yep.
And that'll be enough.
See Sneaky breaking through that turret shield as it has been reduced a little bit on the inner turrets on the outside, but with some more HP.
Right. These secondary turrets taken down a notch in the new patch. The shield much weaker.
Thank you, Base Riot. Yeah. But it doesn't look like it's going to stop Cloud9 from the push in the bottom lane, though. Too much pressure, too much vision, and Team Liquid may just have to give this one up here. Quas is actually going to approach.
They do not want to go for dives.
Looks like they don't.
FeniX does have cleanse and ult available.
That was pretty ridiculous. Fate's Call saving Xpecial immediately.
Wasted, teleport canceled. That will be an end to this encounter. Cloud9 blows some heavy cooldowns and need to back off after that.
Yeah.
That is what they're looking for, though. So we'll see them return once they do have cooldowns back available. Now, FeniX is going to have to keep track of, or Cloud9 is going to have to keep track of FeniX's cleanse, because there are 2 main point-and-click CCs that cannot be cleansed, the Vi or the Nautilus. Knockups, FeniX cleanse will be useless against those. So those can be used for FeniX, whereas Piglet, they will probably want to use the Maokai Lissandra combo on. Cloud9 have so many point-click hard CCs that they can afford to split them.
We'll see where they decide to go from here. We have LemonNation on the roam towards the mid lane. Looks like he's just going to try to get some deep wards in behind the red of Liquid to make sure they can't start to come back in this matchup, knowing they have the double sight stone. Cloud9's going to have to do some sweeping and ward killing quite often. Xpecial with the setup of their own security line towards the back part of their map as well. These pink wards being laid down nicely in areas that they can protect them. They know they can't lay them too far forward. Yeah. Be immediately lost.
Already, though, the vision's so heavily in Cloud9's favor. This is a dragon control team. This is how they want to win the game here, is control the neutral objectives and bring the team fights out into the open where they have the distance that they can stack up all of their CCs. So plenty of vision for Cloud9 around the bottom area of the dragon. So if Team Liquid venture out too far, Cloud9 can look for those picks.
Starting to deny everything that Liquid has. A little crazy. Piglet trying to get some extra shots in here. See Balls and Quas towards the top lane. That teleport is up for Quas still if they decide to try and engage here on the side from Team Liquid.
Oh, man. Meteos also with a Hex Drinker on top of the Brutalizer. So going so heavy with this damage build, full DPS build here from Meteos. This is very rare for him in competitive games. He does this all the time in solo queue for carrying solo queue. However, in most competitive games, we see him build tanky. But because they have a support Nautilus who can fill the secondary tank role, he's freed up to go damage once again. And we will get to see him in his natural habitat. As we
go a few style times.
In solo queue.
Wasn't he the full build AD Nocturne as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was
He likes
beautiful to watch.
Style when he can.
When he can, exactly. Since they do have the secondary support tank, he's freed up to do it. And with Mundo having them, it keeps Mundo honest, basically. He can't fully itemize against the sort of Maokai Lissandra AP threat because there's such a heavy AD threat from Vi as well. And, he's going to be doing percentage health damage with Vi, so Meteos doesn't always want to just dive the backline first. LemonNation gets the flash with just the hook, and they'll take the turret.
Hello.
But this is a Dominate classic. He's one of the junglers that's really, really sneaky about stealing Barons. A lot of the calls for early Barons are from Dominates. They've got it down to half. Meteos is there, though.
Oh, boy.
Bomb
Now it's a
in.
50-50. This is not going to be good for Team Liquid. They aren't even going to go for Baron on the side of Cloud9 either. It's right into the fight. FeniX gets the Vault or Assault Battery into the Vault Breaker. The knockup comes in, but is it enough? No, it is not across the board. Piglet's the only one left alive to farm the bot lane.
Well, that's the downside of the early sneaky Barons. If they do come over and check it,
they don't have that much damage either.
Much boned.
You're looking at Dominate, who built the Lock of the Iron Solari as well. Obviously not going to have tons of damage items there, but they're not crushing that Baron down immediately, so that was very risky. But I guess when you
Piglet,
go for broke, you go
Piglet
for broke.
The hero. Yeah, Piglet.
Baron goes down, depth charge in, bounced up, bounced down, ping-ponged around, but he finally gets taken down in the end. And Cloud9 start to put their stamp on this game. 8,000 gold lead.
Yeah.
And Baron now.
It's so hard to go for that if you do not have blue buff for FeniX. Look at FeniX. He drained all of his mana trying to DPS Baron down. Now, Cassiopeia is one of the best at killing Baron with a blue buff, but she ran dry, had nothing left for the team fight, and Meteos ulted her full damage build. They were easily able to take him out. High starting it off was really nice because he got into the Baron pit, got AoE damage down with a self-ultimate, so he still was very healthy after getting out of it, and a clean sweep here from Cloud9. That one move from Team Liquid made this game go from, a disadvantage to a huge drop-off for Team Liquid, and complete control for Cloud9 now. Because they also have this very, very CC heavy team, it's easy for Cloud9 to bully with their advantage. If you get this kind of lead on a team that can go all in like this, then it's very easy to just steamroll ahead.
Able to just flex their muscles. Meteos charging the Q makes everybody back off. That was enough for it. And the grab on a Dominate should be able to get into that tunnel and get through. He may just have to crawl through the gate. Gets out alive as the team is offering a little bit of help from over the wall. Cloud9 isn't afraid. They're just toying with him right now. Righteous Glory was used there to try and get in and get everything they could. But imagine if that Baron had gone onto Liquid, Kobe. They would have nicely pushed lanes, even more than the bot lane right now. But it's always easy to say what if.
So risky.
Yeah.
To go for one of those. And only seeing a couple people down bottom. But yeah, can't live in the past now. Got to deal with what's on the board. And that is Cloud9 with a 9K gold lead and Baron buff still ticking away. Looks like they won't make a final push with the Baron buff. They're just happy to go back and purchase with all the money that they just got. Maybe they'll head towards bottom here, but man, they just have full vision coverage. They can pretty much pick off anybody that they find. Meteos also is going to go with Blade of the Ruined King last. He's just buying all of the pocket swords here. The sort of tier and a half offensive items. Hex Drinker, Brutalizer, and Cutlass are all kind of in the same tier of offensive items, half completed here. And that will be enough to take out whichever target he decides to go for. At least FeniX has fully stacked up his tier, so it's transformed. He's got the shield ready, a full Seraphic Brace. But it's going to be a lot turtling for Team Liquid. Cloud9, maybe they can, bait Cloud9 into a dive and try to outplay. They still have very good disengage tools, counter-engage with the Cassiopeia and the Janna. Cloud9 overplayed their hand. Team Liquid can grab back into this one.
A bottom.
These tanks, though, they are itching to dive.
You can see it.
Maul's almost fully stacked on his rod. LemonNation already even stacking up with his health. The increased health on the Righteous Glory as well. 650 now compared to 500. Such a huge buff to the item. It's going to buff up his shield as well, which is percentage health based.
Not much Liquid can do, but watch and wait right now for what Cloud9 wants to dictate here around the map. I think it's going to be this last turret. If they can get around the bottom side, it may be something for him, but Cloud9's actually playing this one pretty safe. No dives for them, even though they'd love to.
Yeah.
And they get out of this one.
I mean, they basically have the win of controlling the entire neutral map and stacking up the dragons and barons as long as they want, and just making pushes with barons. Just because they have the tools to dive does not mean that they have to end it that way. And as we said, the one turnaround for Team Liquid is the counter engage under a turret. So Cloud9 not wanting to take that chance, and they're going to play it safe, controlling the map instead.
Well, they came into the game with the idea probably once Quas picked Mundo that we can hit Mundo before 6. Didn't work once. They stuck with it towards the bottom lane.
Oh, yeah.
We were able to pretty much even out the game there, but they didn't go crazy after losing that first top lane game.
The bottom lane shenanigans, sticking around the dying turret.
Right.
The Nautilus with Ignite, no armor versus Sneaky, and sort of a late collapse there from Team Liquid. That put them behind, but really what was the nail in the coffin was that Baron. Maybe Team Liquid felt a little bit desperate after
that's a good point.
It had all gone wrong down bottom. Let's see though, Nautilus is huge now. He's been able to get the old Elixir of Iron. Yeah, it doesn't look that big actually.
It's because he's already gigantic.
I would have expected him to be larger. More. I think that might be a visual bug. I'm disappointed. It looks like regular.
Whoa!
Looks like regular.
Merry Christmas, gentlemen.
Get 2 more! Get 2 more! It's an Easter egg hunt now, actually, not Christmas.
It's changing. It's whatever you want it to be.
Oh, those were their awards.
It's your holiday.
Well, we are going to have one of those lulls then. The customary.
Yeah.
This is the new season, where teams do not want to risk it since there is the stacking mechanic and the turrets are so difficult to knock down. Play safe.
We're getting the split push on right now. Definitely from Maokai. It's going to take a little bit longer. He's trying to push that bottom lane out. He'll get it somewhat. Looks like he's going to meet with the team after this or use that teleport if necessary.
Interesting how they're hovering around Baron rather than grabbing Dragon before, because it would be ridiculously risky for Team Liquid to trade or to try and go for Baron while Cloud9 do Dragon. But they could theoretically still wait Dragon while Cloud9 take Baron. Let's see if it happens. Oh, mid lane they might just fight.
So many wards right now on the left side of that jungle for Liquid that Cloud9 has placed, so they can pretty much not leave this mid lane, or they are seen everywhere. Cloud9, however, not putting themselves in any dangerous situation or only waiting for the waves to connect as they continue to cover that Baron up. They don't want to make any mistakes here. They also realize
base check.
Oh, the Scrying Orb. Who's going to get it first? Death charge onto Piglet. It is going to be a deep dive for him. Dominate, making sure that he's peeled on the back line, but everybody goes in. FeniX gets locked up and knocked down. That was the ultimate coming in from high. Now they get the focus back on to Piglet. He goes down. The double kill coming in for Sneaky. It was a back and forth fight as Cloud9 was trying to find the targets they wanted, but once they did, wiped out.
It was mostly a fourth fight. No back there from Team Liquid.
Back and forth clicking, not damage dealing.
That's true. They did get banged around. There's some knockback.
Yeah, exactly. And the back and forth positioning into the fight win.
Man, you just get banged up. It's just because Cloud9, with this comp, they're so far ahead as well. There is nothing you can do if you get caught out in the open there. Righteous Glory ensures the engage. LemonNation charging straight for the back line, leading the way with his Elixir of Iron, speeding up the rest of the team. And yeah, you're just going to get banged around facing this squad.
It's tough. every one of them was immediately in the middle of that pile, that fight. You didn't even know how to disengage one of the guys because each one of them flashed or just used a gap close. Watch this.
Yeah, just look at how hard it is for Team Liquid to play this team fight. Piglet has to flash all the way back or he's immediately dead. FeniX tries to go in to get any damage. He casts one spell and he's toast. LemonNation soaks him up. There's immediate ultimate from high. As soon as Piglet tries to get one auto attack in, they're all over him. This is the new way of team fights when you have support jungler or tank junglers and tank supports as well. It's even so hard to click on the target that you want. Focus targeting is very difficult when you have these giant character models of Maokai and Nautilus sitting around that are the full tanks and they're just bum rushing your face. Not to mention, Xpecial tried to get his ultimate off, tried his best there, but that one knockback is not going to stop the 10,000 ways that Cloud9 have to engage. So,
well, that was the pinnacle of press R for them. That's pretty much what the press R comp is. Cloud9 coming out very strong there. You talked a little bit about it, Kobe, that the Monsoon may just kind of not even work if there's enough control by the other team. And Cloud9 has gotten there.
Janna's like this counter to hard engage, but it's what degree of hard engage do you have?
The hardest engage indeed.
Engages.
Quas getting hit up. The Ignite's not going to be there for LemonNation, so they just bide their time until the wave pushes up a bit more. LemonNation, rather Dominate, and the rest of the team there to help stop this one. Sneaky's not really given any care to the world as he steps in for a few shots. Trying to smite and do everything they can to the cannon minion here that's sieged up, or rather super minioned up by the Baron. They going for the fight. That's a good Monsoon there, but he is going to get exploded. That's what only buys time for the team to reassess the fight. 3 are now down for Team Liquid as Cloud9 looks to take the base. Support Nautilus, Kobe. Made it happen in NA.
Made it happen. It is here to stay as well. Oh man, another good hook from Lemon.
Right by the side of the Nexus. That's going to be a 32-minute game on the clock. 20-3. Cloud9 take down Team Liquid.
Well then.
Well then, indeed. That went from...
another Baron gone wrong.
Yeah, that went from close to not very close at all. A very quick amount of time.
Yes, it did.
That's what happens when you go for broke, though. That's high risk, high reward, right? That's what they were looking for. They knew the consequences. It's not like they didn't know.
They felt very pressured.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
So we do see that Team Liquid move to 7-8. Cloud9 now 10-5 with Teammate and Gravity coming up. Teams that have actually been showing quite well. Teammate and both Gravity pulling out some wins lately. And then they face Team Solo Mid as their final matchup. So not sure that there's going to be a straight line of victories here coming in for Cloud9. Going to be a lot of work to do, but that's got to feel nice after cutting.
That definitely feels nice. Winning a game like that, you can even see after the game.
Yeah.
LemonNation's up there with balls. Yeah, man, I love being on the front line. Feels so good.
It was good indeed. He didn't get any kills this game. So now LemonNation has one game to get 4 kills for 100 kills in 100 games. We'll see if he can do it. Jack chatting with the team, talking to Sneaky. He's like, "You guys crushed. Great job. Look up there. Everything was fantastic." That's probably not at all what he said. FeniX, pressure, some troubles with the PC in the early game. Still played quite well throughout. Was able to try and make an impact for going from lane to lane. Dominate with the good early ganks. Meteos and his jungle is just one in the other. They go together like peas in a pod. It is his. So far, the king of NA, and he continues to hold that. Rush making a good case for it, though.
That's going to be a fun matchup. Cloud9 versus TIP. Rush versus Meteos. See if they go hard farm or actually decide to throw down and fight. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that 1v1 Meteos versus Rush.
Let's do it.
In the jungle.
Let's just hold it. We'll go into Monday. We'll commentate it, Kobe.
Yeah. No laners.
No laners.
Only jungle camps.
None of that extra stuff. Get it out of here. Then nobody can blame them, right? Nobody can blame you, Kobe. So Cloud9 come up with actually a very nice win there. It's good to see that they got their composure back after IM Katowice.
maybe they went into that without the preparation, and we just saw a Cloud9 that wasn't ready. Back
It definitely
North American
was.
soil, they're kind of at home.
It definitely was a fairly uncharacteristic Cloud9. I'm not used to seeing them like that. However, they did make one of the same mistakes. They went for, again, the top lane dive, turned around on them really nicely. That was one of the really good plays from Liquid that we saw early in the game. Yeah. Turning around that dive, Quas was able to outplay.
And we also saw that Liquid had a little bit more time to play on this, while Cloud9 came back and had to kind of dive right into it. So good on them for that as well to keep up on the play. Let's